How slow is robot today? Not too bad it seems. But she will get complacent. As all robots do eventually.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing today? I am doing great. Thank you. It is very windy outside. I had a nice long Crimbus break. I hope everybody else enjoyed their Crimbus time. It's very fun, festive, kind of a time. I have my little Crimbus gnome back here, but but because I am American, Christmas lasts until February 1st. Everyone knows this. He will be back there until February 1st. And then on February 1st, I'll stop popping this up all the time whenever I feel like it. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, the robot is a little bit slow. You can type exclamation TTS into chat, and maybe someday a robot will read out your message. So let's see. I had a whole week off. I spent the whole week not streaming and doing things for myself and for the family and doing all the Christmas stuff and all that fun junk. So what has changed? I spent some of the time off to make my volume better. Let me know if it sounds nicer. I watched a YouTube video on how to set microphone levels and all that kind of junk and set up the noise gates and all those things. So please let me know if it sounds better, if it sounds worse, if it's so much nicer. I upped the volume of my main microphone here, so it should be working a lot better, probably. And also I look at the little bars moving around on OBS. I think it's exactly where I want it, but let me know how it sounds. Shinseto KVP. Let me just give me a heads up. If it needs to come down a little bit, it can. It's a pain in the ass, but it can. And so let's see what else. And then I moved the mic arm too, because I had it right here and it was bent at a weird angle and it was coming in at a bad angle, and I really just was fighting with it. I should be a little bit more comfortable now with the microphone arm where it is. I straightened the camera out a little bit. It was a bit over to this side, and then it came over there, and I turned it. It was a thing. But I think I have made some minor improvements on how the stream operates and fun stuff like that. So that's what I did in my time off and when I had the time. And then I started the beardening. So this is going to be in preparation for my plan, which may not come into fruition because I will run out of money. But the plan is to go to Comic-Con as Harry Dubois from Disco Elysium. That's the plan. That's what I would like to do. What I'll do is I'll just grow the beard, and then the day before, or like 2 days before, I'll shave all of this, and I'll leave all of the side stuff like that. Next Christmas is Santa. Well, I don't think so. I don't think I'll keep it that long. Comic-Con in Emerald City Comic-Con is only in March. So I've only got all of January, all of February, and some of March to grow the beard, and then I'll turn it into a linked thing and then shave the bottom down here. And then I'll mess my hair up, and hopefully I'll get a nice green jacket and a white shirt underneath. I can just buy those from Amazon. But if you want to help me do those things, give me some money. Become a subscriber. Press the follow button. Press all the thumbs up buttons on the YouTube, and then I will have more to spend on this very low cost cosplay. It'll be fun. And then I'll take some photos, and I'll do one stream at least where I have the Harry Dubois face, and it'll be fun. I think I'm doing good on the beard. It's only been a week, so I think I'll do fine. I've never tried it before, but I mean the chops are still looking good, and they always look good. But he has the chops, and he's got the connected thing. I know that you can shave him in the show, but in the video game, but I don't think that looks as good. So we'll give it a shot. Anyway, that's what's going on. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. What did I miss in the week I was gone? Well, the news happened sometimes. We'll get to the Elon stuff here in just a minute because that's the title for today. But I would like to make some shorts. Let's do that. Let's make a YouTube short real quick because that gets a lot of views and a lot of people see them. So what I do if you're watching is I just kind of live create YouTube videos and YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And if you want to be a part, you can hop into chat and tell me what you think and tell me what you're feeling. And it'll be in the YouTube video. So what happened first? Well, it's a little late. Too late. Who cares, Waldo? Well, maybe I care. This happened. See this guy? That's Luigi. Why is he being perp walked like that? He is being perp walked like that. All those armed guards around him aren't there to prevent him escaping. No. They are there to prevent us from springing him. That's why they are there. They are there to suggest that if you think he's a good guy, if you think he did something that's worthy and laudable, if you want to cheer for him, you have to face all these people. It's to scare you out of appreciating him. It's to scare you out of cheering for Luigi. That is why this perp walk happened. That is why he's surrounded by all these armed men, and that is why he will continue over the next year or so as his trial happens to be surrounded by scary-looking men with guns. It's to scare you out of cheering him on, scare you out of appreciating him. That is why they did this. A lot of people are misunderstanding why this happened. A lot of people are talking about how, oh yeah, they did this perp walk thing, and the mayor of New York is right behind him. That's the mayor of New York back there. You can see him right here. This is the mayor of New York. He is being blatantly political in this situation. He shouldn't be doing that when it's still on trial, but he needs a win. That guy, Eric Adams, he needs a win because he's bad at his job and he is a bad person. So he needs to be seen on the good side of the world and on the right side of history, and he's not, again, because he's a bad person. He doesn't know what's right and what's wrong. So he's on the wrong side of this. If you wanted to make him look bad, you're doing a bad job. But the people who don't know what's going on don't know what's going on. The people who are pushing for a police state and the oligarchy don't know what the people want, and they're trying to control the narrative and control what the people see and stuff like that, and it doesn't. And they don't know what you want. They don't know what makes the people happy. They are very bad and dumb. So that happened, and we'll turn that into a little short. Then, what else did I miss? Did I miss anything important? I don't think I did. That was the only big one that I really wanted to look at. We got that out of the way. And while we're on the subject, we might as well just stick with healthcare. Let's look at this. More Americans believe healthcare is a government responsibility. MAGA is looking to end federal programs. Like I was saying a moment ago, the people in charge don't know what the people want. The human beings who are in charge, the elected representatives, have dual loyalties, honestly. They have to be loyal to the people who pay them, to the people who put them in their positions, and the people who pay for their campaigns. But they also have to pretend to do what the people ask, and this leads to friction. This leads to a non-meshing of what they say and what they do. A newfound belief in government health care comes as some Republicans are getting ready to push for cutting government spending on health care programs such as Obamacare and Medicaid. This is a bad idea. They will have a bad time with this. The highest percentage of Americans in a decade, 62% now, get out of here, say that it is the government's job to make sure that all Americans have access to health care. In 2013, the rollout of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, the number was at 42%. So we're moving up 69%. Nice. Think that the government should be responsible for providing the healthcare. The annual healthcare survey was conducted between November 6th and 20th. Same poll found that fewer Americans are rating U.S. healthcare coverage and quality in a positive way. So the numbers of people polled are moving towards, hey, we would like the government to do something about that. But the people sometimes are stupid, and they don't know that that means socialized medicine. They don't know that that means single payer. They just want something to happen. And that leads to a difficulty. That leads to a confusion, is what it leads to. Because the people on the right hate the idea of socialism, and they hate the idea of socialized medicine, but they don't want the rich to be in charge of it. There's no other options. There are only two powers. I've said this many times. There's a government power of the people rallying together to get something done, everybody paying in a little bit, and then electing someone to run the program. This is a government that we're describing. Even labor unions are a bunch of people that gather together. They all chip in a little bit of money, and then they elect a leader to get the things done for the people. This is a government. There are only two powers. The government power is one. The second power is money, capitalism, paying someone to do a thing. Now, if you want health insurance, you have two options. One, the government option, which is where everybody pays in a little bit, and then we elect someone to administrate it, government healthcare. Or you pay for it, which is all we have right now. The government option exists for Medicare and stuff like that, the single payer. That exists in Medicare and Medicaid and for the people over 65, but it doesn't exist for the normal people. It doesn't exist for people who are not over 65. The young people don't get to jump into that unless they're in some sort of special government case or something like that. And the military gets the single payer as well. We can just extend those programs that already exist to everyone. Or we can just keep paying for it, which means that there's a profit motive, that there's a health insurance salesman that exists. There's like the guy who Luigi shot. They make money by taking in as much as possible and giving out as little as they can. That's how they make a profit. And if they increase the amount of things that don't go out, if they decrease the amount of they pay, they keep more profit, and whoever does that gets a promotion. And then you become president of a health insurance corporation. You become a CEO because you were willing to stiff the people and not give them what they wanted. That is what this will always lead to. The for-profit health insurance will always lead to this. I've been seeing people online say that the healthcare system is broken, and they're wrong. The healthcare system is not broken. The health insurance system is working just as it should. The health insurance system is not broken. It's working as its owners intended to work. The fact that you got your claim denied doesn't mean the system is broken. That's the system. The system intends for that to happen because they want more profit. The fact that we have a for-profit health insurance industry is a mistake. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Abandon it. And the more of us get together and hold hands and say abandon the for-profit health insurance system, the better we will be. And then we'll be able to create something better, a socialized health insurance system. That's all I'm calling for. I'm not, even the people on the left don't want doctors to be slaves or worked for free or not paid. We would like all that giant billions of dollars that is going to the health insurance CEOs rather than giving it to them. We spend it on sick people, paying doctors to see those sick people, paying nurses to take care of those sick people. That is what I want. But that makes me a socialist, and I'm a scary, nightmarish socialist monster. But yeah, I see that online, and I'm thinking, no, the healthcare, it's a very common thing that you see in comment sections, or you see it on Twitter, or you see it on the blue sky. Healthcare is broken. Well, no, healthcare is fine. Health insurance is a scam. And I think I'll turn that into a little YouTube short as well. So let's get on with the big thing, the biggest, most important thing that's going on, and that is the impeachment of Elon Musk, the impeachment of President Elon Musk. That's what we're looking at today. Let's look at this horrible thing and hope that we don't get banned. So this tweet comes out. So basically, the right split into two factions, the tech right and the right. And the tech right is like, hey, we need H-1B visas, people to do the jobs. And the right was like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys are R word that I'm not allowed to say on Twitch. And then Elon says pretty much this sums it up. This was eye-opening. So he's calling the American workers the R word, which is not allowed. It is allowed on YouTube, if I remember correctly, but not on Twitch. So people have said if a major Dem donor called the American people that word, it would receive extensive coverage in a progressive media about how bad and corrupt Democrats are, which would fuel mainstream media coverage, and it would be a huge deal. Musk does it, and its conservative media doesn't care. Well, they are kind of caring. There's a little bit of care from the conservative media. They are very grumpy with Elon right now because he said that thing. It's not a surprise that he said that. The Elon Musk isn't a conservative. God, no. He does not hold conservative ideology. No. He wants to make money. And I'll rant about that, I guess. We have a few more things to look at. So let's look at this one. Oh, God. My internet might be a little slow because it's so windy outside. Musk calls MAGA element contemptible fools as virtual civil war brews. So they're having a meltdown right now. They're all fighting. The schism may force Trump to ultimately take sides between a largely white working class supporters who first made MAGA succeed and the techno-libertarian billionaires like Musk who are at the center of his new administration. And that's true. They are at the center of his new administration. He has hired all the richest people to be in the government now, and they are going to direct the government to make themselves richer. That's my theory anyway. On Thursday, Musk ally and Department of Government Efficiency co-leader Vivek Ramaswamy, Vivek the Fake, posted a lengthy condemnation of American culture and its supposed embrace of mediocrity. Musk spent the next 24 hours defending Ramaswamy and advancing his argument that America needs highly skilled immigrants to fill high-tech jobs. Now, this goes against everything that MAGA believes in. It really does. They do not like this sentence, that America needs highly skilled immigrants to fill high-tech jobs. They hate that. The argument landed with a thud in the MAGA wing that wants to stop immigration and preserve jobs for American workers. On Friday, cartoonist and right-wing commenter Scott Adams posted on X that MAGA was taking a page from the Democrats on how to lose elections while feeling good about themselves. Musk agreed and took a step further. So what did Scott Adams, the absolute dipshit, say? He said that MAGA was taking a page from Democrats on how to lose elections while feeling good about themselves. So he's upset with the MAGA people who are upset with Musk. So he's on Musk's side. Scott Adams, a dipshit, on a dipshit side. I mean, all the sides on this argument are dipshits, but and those contemptible fools must be removed from the Republican Party root and stem. Elon, they are the Republican Party. Elon, my man, they are the Republican voters. They get tricked by you and Scott Adams and Donald Trump into voting for things that are bad for them. And either you didn't know this or you're saying, or you're misunderstanding. It's probably what it is, but Elon completely misunderstands how the Republican Party functions. He doesn't think that it works the way that it actually does. So let's keep reading what they're saying. For people used to being called deplorables by Democrats, the condemnation from one of the most important advisors in Trump's inner circle stoked instant outrage. Calling people who have their country's best interest at heart and wanting to not sell out the American people contemptible fools is the biggest L that I've seen Elon make in a long time. Dude needs to relax. Gaming streamer Hooks posted. Okay, cool. He is wrong, but the right is fighting amongst themselves right now. Right-wing activist Laura Loomer tagged Trump in her message. The Trump base is being replaced by big tech executives. So sad to see this. I feel so sad for MAGA. She is simply a shit poster. She just wants drama for drama's sake. Sometimes fascists take action for action's sake, but Laura does drama for drama's sake. Andrew Torba, the CEO of the far-right social network Gab, said in his X post, why didn't he post it on Gab? He's declaring a war on us, by the way. Should go over well for him as it has for everyone else who has tried. It will go over well for him. You will continue to pay Elon Musk. The right declares war on the right-wing leaders, declare war on the right-wing voters all the time. And it does go over well for them because you keep paying them. Because the alternative, Mr. Andrew Torba, you will continue to vote right. You will. What are you going to do? Vote for a centrist? I don't think you will. You run Gab. You're the CEO of Gab. You're going to vote for a centrist? No. You're going to vote for a different right-wing person? Sure, that's what you're going to do. You're going to vote in a primary for a different right-wing person who's going to do exactly the same thing to you again. Elon Musk needs those H-1B visas so that his company will operate at maximum efficiency. And if you vote in a different Republican right-winger, they will do exactly the same thing, Andrew. They will. It's like you never learn. It's like you don't understand what is happening and why. I understand what's happening. The Republicans are for Republican profits. That's what they do. And are you going to vote for someone else? No. You're going to vote for someone else in the primary who's going to do the exact same thing. They're going to tell you that they're all about American workers, and then what they're going to do is abandon that the minute it costs them money. Imagine Andrew uses the entire power of Gab to abandon Donald Trump and Elon for this stance. Who are they going to get replaced with? A right-wing person who is going to then promise them that they will cut back on H-1 visas, and then when they get in charge, they'll increase them because it's good for profits. It's good for the bottom line. It's a bait and switch every single time. Souls, hi, thanks for coming. We're complaining about Elon and ranting about him at the moment. So what's next? Next up is Laura Loomer. Let's laugh at her a little bit. She is a terrible person who has terrible things happen to her. All that MAGA civil war engulfs Trump already. Come on, Internet. What are you doing to me? I swear this one worked, but it didn't. Kicked me out. The Internet's being a little slow today. Elon Musk's new critics on X just paid the price. Conservative influencers slammed Elon Musk over his recent posts on immigration, and now they're being punished. Oh my God. Imagine exactly what Waldo said would happen. He doesn't actually care about free speech. He doesn't care about your free speech. Right-wing conservative people, listen. He does not care about your free speech. He never has. Elon's version of Twitter is based on censorship of speech he does not like. Why else would he have bought it and laid off the staff? He does not need a moderation team to determine complex nuance. He will decide that. He does not need anyone to create rules that lay out the intricate contextual do's and don'ts. He's the uber mod. He is the decider. And if he decides he does not like your speech, he will censor it. X, formerly Twitter, is of Elon, by Elon, for Elon. You are welcome there as long as you agree with him. Silencing the speech of his detractors and elevating his own speech was always the plan. That is what he wants to do with it. 5 o'clock shadow in honor of our shadow president. No, I'm making the beard happen. I'm getting ready for my maybe, if I can scrape together the money, for a trip to Emerald City Comic Con, where I dress as Harry Dubois from Disco Elysium. I'll grow out the full beard, right? And then when it's time to go to Comic Con, I'll just shave this part right here. Oops, sorry. I'll just shave all this right here, and then I'll have the Harry Dubois face. And it'll be fun, I think. And maybe I'll dress like him if I can. That's the plan. If Elon is shadow, Trump is. If Elon is shadow, Trump is Dr. Robotnik. That makes sense. Trump is Dr. Robotnik. He has a funny face. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, here we go. The online beef between Donald Trump's Silicon Valley backers and more traditional conservative MAGA base has culminated in Elon Musk allegedly using X to censor his fellow Trump supporters. Obviously, he was always going to do this. Laura Loomer, Gavin Mario Wax, Conservative PAC, and Owen Schroyer. Probably all Nazis, but I'm just guessing. Laura Loomer is. And if you're at a table with Laura Loomer, you're a Nazi too. All had their X verification badges removed Thursday night after criticizing Musk's stance on labor and immigration earlier in the day. All of our influencers have now lost verification status, as well as our own page. Our brand did nothing. We spoke out against HB1 visas, and it appears that Elon Musk intentionally shut us down. Is this the new status quo from America's most free social media platform? Yes, conservative PAC. This is exactly what you can expect from him. This is exactly what you can expect from conservatives every damn time. I have been trying to tell you this for years. I specifically haven't been telling you this, but I've been talking into a camera. The people on the left have been telling you this is exactly what's going to happen. Elon Musk owns the social media. If he doesn't like what you say, he will unpromote you. He will remove you from the algorithm. He will remove your checks. He will remove your pages if you say something against him. This is why you shouldn't allow a single person to own and operate the gigantic social media network. That's why you need a team of moderators. That's why you need actual employees who can determine what these things are. Elon fired them all. Why are you surprised by this? I knew this was coming. Did you not know this was coming, Laura Loomer, Gavin Mario Wax, Conservative PAC? If you didn't know this was coming, you're kind of dumb, right? Let's keep reading. Right after Elon Musk called me a troll today, my account verification was taken away, my subscriptions were deactivated, and I was banned from being able to buy premium even though I was already paying for premium. Laura Loomer said, clearly retaliation. Yes, Laura Loomer, it is clearly retaliation. Yes. Stop supporting him. Stop being supportive of Elon Musk. Stop supporting his platform. Stop supporting the right-wing agenda. This is where it leads. This is where it always leads. My verification badge is now under review. Weird. Didn't change anything, said Gavin Mario Wax, another vocal critic of HB1 visas. Yes, this is where right-wing ideology takes us. This is all comes after Musk and fellow Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE chair Vivek the Fake Ramaswamy engaged in some post-Christmas infighting with the conservatives about whether Asian immigrants from H-1B work visas or pure corn-fed Americans would make better SpaceX employees. Now, this is a Vivek quote, so let's read it. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad or jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Ramaswamy said in a long rambling post, a culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zach and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. He's correct. He's correct. He is right. If you show media about how it's bad to be a nerd, people won't be nerds. They will grow up not being nerds, and they won't do nerd things in college. Great. Fantastic. He is a hypocrite, obviously. He is a member of the Republican Party. He ran as a Republican on the right and complained about the left. He complains about the left all the time. The Republicans are anti-education, Vivek. They are. They simply don't like education. They hate college. They hate high school. They hate paying for these things. The government of Oklahoma wants you to learn two things when you're in school, the Bible and nationalism. That's it. That's all they want for you to learn. Do you think the state government, once Trump is in charge, and we get every state deciding what they want for education, do you think the Oklahoma government, which teaches nationalism in the Bible, is going to produce a bunch of good engineers? No, it's not. Why are you pushing for that? Being on the right and pushing for higher education is a contradictory stance. They don't mesh well. Those are two. You, Vivek, the fake, as a right-wing politician, complain about education all the time. You want to get rid of the Department of Education. That will make everyone dumber. That will make us less likely to produce engineers. The right-wing ideology devours itself. It harms itself. It always does. Let's keep reading before I rant a little bit more. Musk expressed similar sentiment, noting that the number of people who are super talented engineers and super motivated in the U.S. is far too low, before soon getting into a fight with his own followers about the issue. And apparently the oligarch has thin skin when it comes to his critics. Insane that blue checks are being removed from accounts that have been vocal in their criticism of H-1B racket. Horrible look, conservative influencer Wax said. I've supported Elon Musk and X. Anyone who was in the NYRC gala can attest that I dedicated a large portion of my speech to praising Elon. Yes, you did, and you got fooled. Wax, my man, you got hornswoggled. You got fooled. You got tricked. You got lied to. You were misled, Wax. Are you going to be misled next time? Yes, I think you are, because you are dedicating a large amount of your brain power to staying on the right, even though they trick you, even though they lie to you, even though they harm you. Thin-skinned because he's mentally 13 years old. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about this just this morning. I haven't written it out, so it might sound rambly. Imagine your brain as a battery. I know it's not a perfect analogy, but imagine your brain has an amount of effort it can put out. Maybe the right wing spends in all of their battery power creating back-bending, complicated, twisted logic to stay on the right. And I think they do. Wax here, who is complaining about Elon, is not going to move to the left. God, no. He's not. Laura Loomer's not going to move to the center. No, she is going to spend all her brain power to complain about the thing on the right, complain how they're not doing the thing on the right way, and she will stay on the right. And then she will get fooled again. And then she will get tricked again. And then the next person will come along and say, hey, Elon was real bad about that whole right-wing thing, but you can trust me. And she will put her trust into this new person. And then the new person will let her down again. And then she will create, backbend, and spend all of her brain power trying not to move to the center. I think that's what the right does. They spend all of their brain power not to move to the center, not to move to the left, ever. And that, I think that's harming them. It's driving them crazy. That's what I think anyway. So what else do we have? Okay, so the next few years are going to be filled with fights and feuds about freedom. Trump is going to start a good deal of them. Over the border, who is free to come here, who isn't. Over the immigrants, who is free to stay and who isn't. Over the tariffs, who is free of them and who has to pay. All of these things he's mentioned in the past, but there's also going to be fights among the many different people orbiting him. Elon has just started the first. And somehow blame the left and probably immigrants. Yeah, exactly. They're using all of their energy, all of their brain power to stay on the right, never move left, no matter what happens, even if they're lied to by Elon, even if Donald Trump lets them down, they will backband, they will create all of this, they will spend all of this mental energy to stay on the right and blame the left and the immigrants somehow. That is another big chunk of the brain power that they're going to use. They're going to use every thought they have, every bit of brain power they have to make it like they've never been wrong. And when they've used all their brain power on that, they don't have time or energy left to learn new things, to come up with better ideas, to discuss or to investigate why they are let down all the time, why they are lied to all the time, why they are tricked so often. They won't have the bandwidth for it. If you spend your entire mind contemplating how you aren't wrong, you can never learn a new thing. You can never determine why you got tricked. And I think that's the mental gymnastics that they do. I know I'm only thinking about this morning, so I'll turn it into a better theory later. So yeah, Elon has just started his first feud by simply suggesting increasing the number of H-1B visas because it is good for his companies. Hiring immigrants and paying them less than an American is just good business, and he feels he should be free to do so. It is good for his business because they earn less money than the Americans. They are tied to the job. If they quit, they lose their status. They have to leave the country, or else they become illegal. If they fight to raise their wages, you can cancel their visa and send them back home. If they try to look for another job, you can cancel their visa and send them back home. They are indentured servitude. It is a bad look, but it is good for his business. That's why he wants to do it. That's why he likes it. That's why the tech Silicon Valley folks use this option so often. You get indentured servitudes. You get indentured servants who are working harder and earning less. But that reeks of Dey ToOk HIs JERBs to the MAGA crowd. They wanted immigration to stop. They wanted immigrants to stop coming here and stealing the American jobs. They want white DEI for themselves, and they want white American men to be the first person you think of when you need a job filled. They love DEI when it's benefiting them. So this fight ensues. MAGA, the geniuses that they are, use Twitter to complain, and Elon, being the uber mod that I mentioned earlier, removed their check marks, preventing them from buying them back, and removed their probably inflated and probably imaginary followers because he can. Twitter is of Elon, by Elon, for Elon. Why would Elon need to hire people from other countries anyway? Well, because Americans are undereducated, and he knows it. College in America is a money-making scam now. Their first priority is making money, usually from tuition, sports teams, and giant government checks, sometimes real estate. Their second priority is convincing the students to give the students and the government to give them more money next year, which is why they need all those administrators. And a distant third is educating a few kids, I guess. It's not super important, but maybe we'll educate some people. Now, is that MAGA's fault? Well, no, not really. That's just another flaw of capitalism. It's the Republicans' fault because the Republicans do actually push for lesser education, because the more education you get, the longer time you spend in college, the more likely you are to vote left and move left. This isn't an accident. They know this. They have seen it. Every right-wing commenter knows it and sees it and recognizes it and yells and screams and hates it. Don't go to college, they say. Go to a trade school. What's his name? Ben Shapiro even said, go to college. Don't listen to them because you already know everything. Do whatever coursework they require of you as minimal as possible. Get the degree and then flush every thought that they gave you down the toilet. Do not pay attention to them. Do not listen to them. You already know everything. Get the degree and then fuck the ideology and fuck the things that you learned because you already know everything because you listen to me. That was his stance on the situation, because the degree will allow you to negotiate better employment opportunity and stuff like that. But you don't want to learn from them. God, no. You want that degree, but you don't want to learn anything, is his stance, which is really the conservative stance. It really is. You don't want to learn anything, but we need that degree. We need you to pay into the system, you know? You have to pay in, but you don't have to learn anything. It's a very bad way to operate, if you ask me. But the Republicans are the anti-intellectual party. They are the anti-education party. So when conservative Elon complains that there's not enough education, kind of his fault. When Republican people complain that there's not enough education, kind of your fault. But it is another flaw of capitalism. The Republicans aren't helping. I avoided college because I was poor, but they avoid college because it's too woke. Where was I? Back on topic. This makes MAGA mad because they were promised American jobs for American people. But Elon is already going back on that. He handled it with the grace and eloquence that he is known for by liking a tweet with a slur word in it. Basically calling American workers the R word, which is banned on Twitch, but not on YouTube, if I remember correctly. But anyway, they are mad that he called them stupid. And if MAGA did not see this coming, they are kind of stupid. I got a comment on my last YouTube vid. It did pretty well. I got like 300 views, which is a lot for me. I was very excited. But the commenter complained about me insulting the intelligence of the right-wing people and suggested that the right hates the left because we call them stupid. What am I supposed to do? I don't see why I have to stop calling them stupid if they keep doing stupid things and refusing to learn. If you fall for the same Republican lie and scam over and over and over again, how else am I supposed to describe that? They fell for it again, and they will fall for it again in the future. If you voted for the leopards eating people's faces party, then your face gets eaten by leopards, you are stupid. Yeah, exactly, Shinsinto. Stop doing stupid things. Stop being tricked. Learn a thing. 2 years ago, if you had thought Elon supported free speech, you weren't stupid. He kept talking about it, he kept promising it, and he was promising to bring back free speech online. He lied. Which means if you believed him back then, you were misled. Being misled does not mean you're stupid. It just means you misplaced your trust. The smart thing to do after that is reassess. Read about what happened. Try to figure out why you were misled. Determine why you believed the misleading claim. Unironically, do your own research to figure out how you got tricked and don't let it happen again. Do you guys remember the anti-vax craze? It started on the left with California hippies and San Francisco wine moms, smugly referencing one study from one guy who said that autism spiked in China after they started importing our vaccines. And I literally believed it. I was actually worried about it. And just before the Stream Jedi was born, I started looking into it to determine whether or not, because he was born in California, I could have prevented him from getting these immunizations. So I looked into the facts. I did my own research, and I found that lots of other trustworthy scientists dismantled that original piece of work. My feelings of fear were assuaged by facts. My belief was challenged and lost. I realized that I had been misled. If I had denied the reality and abandoned facts to hold tightly to those misleading beliefs, then yes, I would be stupid. The right-wing people don't do that. When have you ever heard of a right-wing person challenging their own beliefs and coming out the other side different, changing their mind? They don't do that. They already know everything. Very similar to the thing I was mentioning a minute ago with Ben Shapiro. They already know everything. They don't have to learn new things. Everything was good in the past. Don't learn new stuff. That would be progress. That would be forward movement. Don't do that. No. Everything good is in the past. Everything good is set in stone 1,000 years ago. Jordan Peterson talks about the hierarchy of lobsters. The older a thing is, the more valuable it is to him. The older an ideology, the more value he thinks it has. That's dumb. That's backward facing. Right wing conservatism is a backward facing ideology. They do not want to learn new things. They do not want to progress. They already know that the code fax is bad for you, and they already know that they can't be convinced otherwise. Belief is the problem. I say it every damn week. Belief is the problem. The people on the right, the conservatives, have solid beliefs, and they will never challenge them. And if I challenge them, if I tell them, hey, that thing that you believe isn't correct, isn't true, I'm harming them. I'm insulting them. They're disgusted by me. They think belief is solid concrete, and it's not. It's literally nothing. Belief is nothing. It is a thought process. It is a big ball of ideas, not solid, not permanent. Yeah, well, it's called common sense. God equips us with all the knowledge we ever need when we're born. Exactly, Sewells. You got it right on the head there. The common sense is whatever they feel like is true. I feel like men are men and women are women. That means it's common sense. I feel like trans people shouldn't be school teachers, and that's just common sense. You see, they do it all the time. Anytime they have a feeling, they call it common sense. Your mind can't be changed. You're a grown man. Yeah, exactly. If you really were open-minded and you appreciated free speech, you would change your mind every now and then. But they don't. The more you appreciate free speech, the more often you will be challenged on your beliefs. The more likely one of your beliefs will change. Your mind will change because of the free speech. They don't like free speech. They like conforming speech. They don't like that their bigotry gets canceled from the internet because it's bad for business. The reason that so many right-wing people got booted off of old Twitter, back when it had a moderation team, is because their ideology is bigotry. It's a big part of their whole thing. They don't like these certain people. They don't like the transes. They don't like the gays. They don't like the immigrants. They don't like these people. And in saying so, it was bad for the business that Twitter was running at the time. So you got banned because you were bad for business. This isn't an ideology thing. This is a money thing. They can't distinguish the two. They have difficulties within their brains learning new things. I would have to explain to them. They would have to comprehend and recognize that the business is bad. The business goes down. They would have to learn that having your commercial next to a Nazi post is bad for that business's business, you know? Mammon W, thanks for coming in with the W's. So let's keep ranting. And where was I? Oh, so yeah, the Republican base, the voters, don't get anything from the Republican leaders. They don't have anything for you. Conservatives, listen, they don't have anything for you. If Elon makes more money by hiring Americans, he will. If he makes more money by lying to your face, he will. If he makes more money supporting Trump, he will. If he makes more money by stabbing Trump in the back, he will. If you also make more money or get some sort of culture war win from him and his actions, that is completely by accident. It's just a happy coincidence. Elon is not ideologically Republican. The Republicans are simply more for sale than the Dems, and the Democrats and the Republicans promise to cut taxes for the rich, and he is rich, so he wants to pay fewer taxes, and then he can give some more to the Republicans. They're just simply more for sale. Are the Dems for sale also? Yes, of course they are, but less so. It's less often that a Democrat takes money and then completely flips their stance, their position, their ideology. Happens less often. But when they do, they get in trouble. The DNC yells at them and complains about them, and then they leave the Democratic Party to become a Republican anyway. It's what usually happens. There's more ideological purity testing happening over there on the Democrat Party. So let's see. What else was I about to say? Conservative politicians make the education of Americans worse. Conservative voters demand higher paying tech jobs for Americans, and those two things do not mesh. Conservative Elon needs H-1B visas to maximize his profit. Conservative voters hate H-1B visas. These two things do not mesh. Conservative politicians promise to cut income taxes. Most conservative voters don't pay income tax. These two things do not mesh. Conservatives, listen, they are tricking you. They are not on your side. They do not have your best interest in mind. They are using you. Instead of yelling at me or telling the left that they're wrong for calling you stupid, how about you stop falling for the same scam over and over? And that's my YouTube rant for today. If he makes more money commodifying identity security, he will. Exactly. If he makes more money by moving to the left, he will. It's unlikely, generally. Why is that unlikely? I covered it in the last video on YouTube, but it's because the left is anti-capitalist. The further left you go, the more you hate capitalism. That's all there is to it. I wish this were, I don't wish that were not the truth. It is the way of the world. The further left you are, the less likely you are to appreciate capitalism, the more you complain about it. Bernie complains about it all the time. AOC complains about capitalism all the time. They do not want this force to be the only force. There are only two, as I said before. There are only two. There's the capitalist force and the government force. That's all there is. You cannot accomplish anything without one of those two things. Even if it's mowing your yard, you do the work. And if you had a large yard that needed 5 people to work, you either get your friends to help, organize them together to accomplish the things, and then you're the boss because it's your house, or you hire someone to do it with capitalism. Those are the only two options. I have yet to see a third option. By all means, feel free to enlighten me if anybody can find a third fucking option, but I don't think there is one. You either organize people to do a job, or you pay people to do a job. That's it. That's all there is. And this works for every job. Road construction, done by the government. They organize the people, you apply to them, and they pay you. Yes, they pay you because it's still a capitalist organization. You still live within capitalism. The only reason you would do such a thing is for capitalist means. But still, the decision to make a road, to make a bridge, generally falls within the government. And the government puts it together, collects taxes from all of us, so that they can pay the people to make the road, buy the equipment, buy the supplies, and then pay the workers to do the road. This is a government operation. All worker unions fall within the same thing. All the workers come together. They create a union. They gather together some money. They all chip in a little bit. They hire a president, and they vote for a president, and the president negotiates with the company to get them a better deal. This is a government. That's all. If you wanted to pay someone to do a job, then that's your capital power. There's only 2 powers. I can't think of a third. I have thought about every situation that I can think of, and it always comes down to those 2. Now, the capitalist one is the more likely option. You can pay someone to go get you groceries. You can pay someone to bring you a burrito to your house. You could organize that. It would just be a little bit weird. If I were sick at home, I have many friends that I could call and have them bring me a burrito or bring me some soup. How many times have you done that for someone for you? That's the government. That's the social network working together. That is similar to a government. If Sewells was sick and needed me to bring him some soup, he would be the person in charge, and then he would maybe pay me back, or I wouldn't charge him for 69 cents worth of soup, but I would do that. People power, or is also government, people in government power, or capitalist power. He could pay DoorDash to bring him some soup. Also fine. Every situation falls into those two categories. Feeding children. Either we pay a company to feed children, or we band together, we create a government, and the government collects taxes from people, and then we feed those children. That's it. There's no third option. And I think the capitalist power is overrunning us. Elon Musk just bought the presidency. He bought it. It's his now. He is now going to be paying for Nigel Farage in the UK as well, and he's been posting supportive things about the AfD in Germany. Would it surprise us if he's paying them money too? Wouldn't surprise me at all. Is he allowed to do that? Who cares? What are you going to do? Fine him? You're going to put him in jail? God, no. He's going to pay through shell companies and backroom deals if he has to help other right-wing people get elected in England and Germany. Because he can. If you don't like that idea, then you need to move left. Because the right wing is the capitalist party. The left wing is the government party. Those are the only options we can have. You want a good balance. I'm not saying that all government should ever be in charge. They shouldn't be in charge of creating skateboards. That would be silly. I'm okay with having that for open to the free market. But what we have to do is have the proper balance. Don't become so far in one direction or the other. Proper balance. Right now, the capitalist side is overrunning. Elon's buying the government. He's going to buy more government. He's going to buy the English government. He's going to buy the German government. He's going to own the largest communication device in existence. And he's going to be in charge of it, throwing people out when they disagree with him, blocking people who argue about him. And he's going to then use that large presence to push his own ideas. It is of Elon, by Elon, for Elon. And that is the problem. This is the oligarchy. This is the thing that Bernie Sanders has always warned us about. Let's look at what Bernie has to say right now. While this loads, thanks for coming in, everybody. If you're here, if you're paying attention, hop in the chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. And you can watch all of this stuff on the YouTube link right there. There's the YouTube link. If you want to go watch old videos or if you missed a stream, you can check that out on the live tab. Smash the subscribe button, break the bell button, and stab someone in the comments, because YouTube is fueled by hate. What do we got? We got Bernie. From Bernie Sanders. This is not democracy. That is not what this country is supposed to stand for. Should I do it in Bernie voice? I'll try. It's not hard to miss. Our country is rapidly evolving into two Americas. One America consists of less than 1,000 billionaires who have unprecedented amount of wealth and power and have never had it so good. The other America, where the vast majority live, consists of tens of millions of families who are struggling to put food on the table, pay the bills, and worry that their kids will have a lower standard of living than they do. In this America, the three wealthiest men, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, who own more wealth than the bottom half of our society, over 165 million people, and their wealth is skyrocketing. Musk alone is now worth 450 billion, and combined, these three men are worth 995 billion. And it's not just these three men. The top 1% now own more wealth than the bottom 90%, and the gap between the very rich and everyone else is growing wider every day. I'm going to skip to the good part down here. We know all this. We know all this. Never before in American history have so few media conglomerates, all owned by the billionaire class, had so much influence over the public. It's estimated that 6 huge media corporations now own 90% of what American people see, hear, and read. This handful of corporations determines what is important and what we discuss, and what is unimportant and what we ignore. If you use social media accounts to get your news, chances are it's owned by the billionaire Musk, Zuckerberg, or Trump. If you read the Washington Post, Fox, or the Los Angeles Times, your news is owned by billionaires Bezos, Murdoch, or Patrick Soon-Shiong. But it's not just the billionaire ownership and control over the economy and the media that should concern us. The uber-rich are also buying our government and undermining American democracy. That's not just the billionaire ownership and control over the economy and the media that should concern us. The uber-rich are also buying our government and undermining American democracy. That is not democracy. That is not one person, one vote. That is not what the country is supposed to stand for. In his Gettysburg Address, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln spoke about a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Well, today we have a government of the billionaires, for the billionaires, and by the billionaires. We are in a pivotal and unprecedented moment in American history. Either we fight to create a government and an economy that works for all, or we continue to move rapidly down the path of oligarchy and the rule of the super rich. The choice is clear. We must stand together for democracy and justice. So, Bernie is entirely correct here. There is a war, and it's between the rich and everyone else. Which side are you on? Are you on the rich side? I'm sure as hell not. They will take from you. They will take everything they can from you. They will buy the government and then take some more. Then they will pass laws because they're in charge of the government now that allows them to take more. Elon Musk is super villain level dangerous. He is going to wreck the economy. Jeff Bezos is going to ruin the economy to benefit himself. Mark Zuckerberg is going to ruin the economy if it makes him more money. If crashing the stock market made those men more rich, they would do it. Do you think they can? I think they can. I think they have so much power and authority over the financial, economic areas within our country that they can wreck it if they want to, the minute that it serves them to do so. That is the danger that I have been complaining about. That is why I'm against the over-powerful capitalism. If we had a power that could rival them, I wouldn't be as nervous. If we were equal with government power and the economic power, we wouldn't suffer quite so much because the government would step in and either make it illegal for them to do so, or arrest them for for harming the American public, or pass laws that make sense. But that government has been bought by Elon, by the people who are very rich. The rich people have bought the government, and they are using it to make themselves more rich by taking from you, by stealing from you, by nickel and diming you to death and cutting their own taxes. That is the Republican Party. That is their entire modus operandi. This is why they exist. Conservatives don't see it because they are befuddled by the culture war. I know I might be repeating myself, but they are befuddled. They are tricked by a culture war instead of the actual war. There's a real war going on between the rich and the poor, but they are tricked. They're blinded. They've got their blind spot. There is a war of rich versus poor, but the conservatives can't see it because they've been blinded by the culture war. They are afraid of brown people. They are afraid of gay people. They are afraid of queer people. They are afraid of trans people. And that fear leads them to ignore and be blind to the actual war, the actual thing that is harming them, which is the rich people stealing from them. The rich people who are now in charge of the government are going to take from them. Conservatives, conservatives, listen, the rich people bought the government and they are going to take from you. They are going to steal from you. I need you to see it. I need you to abandon your conservative blind spot and recognize it. See it for what it is. See that there is a war going on, and it's not left versus right. It's rich versus poor. If you can't see it, then we will just continue to have the same empty, vacuous cultural fight, the culture wars, the social fights that we've been having for the past 20 years about gay people, brown people, trans people. You would just keep having that over and over and over again forever, accomplishing nothing. They won't go away. They're people. They will continue to be the people that they are. You can't make them go away. You can hide every trans person from your sight. They will still exist. You can cram all the gay people you want into a closet. They will still exist. You can't prevent this. It is just normal. It's natural. It's what happens when people have freedom. But you don't like that freedom. You want conformity. I hear you. I recognize that the people on the right want everyone to conform to the way they want them to be. They need them to be straight, white, cis people in hetero marriages in the suburbs because it's what they want. Sometimes people don't want that. If you don't want to be that, I want you to have the freedom to make your own choices. But the Republicans and the right don't want that. They want conformity because they think it makes them feel better. They are afraid. They are terrified of people being different or doing things they don't appreciate. And when they are afraid, generally, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, they start lashing out, getting violent, which is probably what we're going to see over the next couple of years. We're going to see some increased right-wing violence. I'm absolutely sure we are. Man accused of attacking TV reporter saying, "This is Trump's America now." Is this anecdotal? Is this a one-off specific, one crazy guy? Yes. But let's read about it. A Colorado man is facing possible bias motivation charges for alleged attack of a TV news reporter after demanding to know whether he was a citizen, saying, "This is Trump's America now," according to the court documents. Patrick Thomas Egan, 39, was arrested on December 18th in Grand Junction, Colorado, after police say he followed KJCT reporter Ron Alex's vehicle for around 40 miles. He followed him 40 miles in a car. From the Delta area, Alex told police that he believed he had been followed and attacked because he is a Pacific Islander. So not even like black, he's just slightly Hawaiian. After arriving in Grand Junction, Egan, who was driving a taxi, pulled up next to Alex at a stoplight, and according to their arrest affidavit, said something to the effect of, "Are you even a U.S. citizen? This is Trump's America now. I'm a Marine, and I took an oath to protect this country from people like you." Pacific Islanders usually are American. Most of them are. Alex, who had been out reporting, then drove back to his news station in the city. After he got out of his vehicle, Egan chased Alex as he ran toward the station's door and demanded to see his identification, according to the document laying out police's evidence in the case. Egan then tackled Alex, put him in a headlock, and began to strangle him. The affidavit said co-workers who ran out to help and witness told police that Alex appeared to be losing his ability to breathe during the attack, which was partially captured on surveillance video, according to the document. Why does this guy feel like he can do this? Because he's been tricked into thinking that people who don't look like him are bad, terrible, and stealing from him. It's a lie. The rich people who own the media have brainwashed most people in the country to think that the people who don't look like them are harming them. Simply not true. This guy saw someone who looked different and demanded to see their identification, demanded to know if they're a citizen. I don't think it's mentioned in the thing whether or not the guy is or isn't, but he was working here, so he's got to be some sort of a thing. According to the station's website, Alex is a native of Detroit. So, yeah, he's from Detroit. Reported that he was driving a news vehicle at the time. So he's driving a news vehicle. Jesus. Egan was arrested on suspicion of bias-motivated crimes, second-degree assault, and harassment. He is scheduled to appear in court on Thursday, learn whether prosecutors have filed formal charges against him. So he's a native of Detroit. So the man who was born in Detroit is being attacked, harassed, and injured because he looks different. Do you see why maybe the left suggests that you're racist? You want me to stop calling you racist? Stop doing racist things. You want me to stop calling you stupid? Stop doing stupid things. You want me to stop calling you a rube? Stop falling for the same scams over and over. And what else do we got? Look at this. Is aspiring MAGA congresswoman performs mock execution of a migrant in disturbing campaign video. Now, I can't show you all of this, but Valentina Gomez, who is a shit poster, I think maybe she is, if she's a true believer, she's incredibly dangerous. If she's a shit poster, if she's a fucking Borat, she's taking it too far. Valentina Gomez, who lost the race to become Missouri's Secretary of State earlier this year, that undocumented persons who committed violent crimes deserve to be ended. We can watch her do this little thing. I can't play the audio because of the fact that it's got sound. No. Go back. Damn it. I don't want you to move forward. I want to play the damn one I saw a minute ago. 1 minute. 1 second. Come on, you damn thing. Can you load? Thank you. Anyway, I can't play the audio, but here she is jogging in a bulletproof vest because she's so brave. In America, you can be anything you want. So don't be weak and gay. And I kind of agree with her. Don't be weak and gay. Be strong and gay. Be strong and leftist. Don't be a weak, wimpy leftist. Look into the camera. Tell the people that you support leftist ideas and that she is a Nazi. I'm not being weak here. That's the trick. Don't be weak. But do be gay, if you'd like to. Jogging in a bulletproof vest is a very strong virtue signal. To me, it screams, I am terrified. She is showing you how scared she is. She is absolutely fear-based. There is no thought that does not go first through her fear system. She has never met a person she wasn't immediately afraid of. She is terrified of the entire world. She does not live a peaceful life. This woman is afraid of lots and lots and lots of things. And she makes her decisions based on fear. She is afraid that someone is going to come and get her or shoot at her while she's jogging. Let's see. Aspiring congresswoman and controversial MAGA cheerleader Valentina Gomez has sparked outrage once again after posting a video in which she appears to simulate executing a migrant. A 25-year-old who tried and failed to be elected as Missouri's Secretary of State earlier this year said the disturbing clip that undocumented persons who committed violent crimes deserve to be ended. In the video posted on X on Monday, Gomez is seen firing a handgun into the back of a dummy tied to a chair with a black bag over its head. It's that simple, she said. Public executions for any illegal that rapes or kills an American. They don't deserve deportation. They deserve to be ended. The video has been flagged by X as potentially violating the platform's rules against violent speech, but it has not been removed as of Tuesday. Public executions for any illegal that rapes or kills an American captured the video. It quickly sparked outrage from other social media users, with some branding the Colombian native as a psychopath. What's wrong with these people? They're unhinged, mentally ill, and psychopathic. She is a crazy person because her fear constant fear, has caused her brain to break. And here is a little snippet of it. She stands here with this fake human and then shoots it in the head. This is not the actions or the words of a sane person. She is terrified. And instead of cowering, she has gone on the offense to prevent herself from being afraid. If she holds the gun, if she wears the bulletproof vest, if she removes all the people she doesn't like from society, she will feel better. But that is a never-ending process. There will always be someone else to scare her because she is fear-based. She can never be relaxed. She can never be calm. She can never get better. She can never be in a safe place because there will always be something else to scare her. There will always be something else to frighten her. She will always be more afraid. And I don't know what you can do about that. You simply have to educate people better, I suppose. More Sesame Street, more inclusion, more diversity within the things on TV, and you will be less afraid. I don't know how to cure her, but I know how to prevent her and prevent people becoming like her. And that's education. That's travel. That's making people bump into people of another race. That's it. That's the goofy Mark Twain quote that travel is the cure for ignorance. She is shockingly ignorant. She is severely ignorant. This lady, very ignorant. And in her ignorance, she is afraid. And instead of learning things, instead of becoming a smarter person, instead of investigating and determining what is true and what isn't true, she has decided to double down, triple down, quadruple down on fear. And she will never be smarter. She won't learn any new things. Everybody who she feels like doesn't belong here needs to be harmed to make her feel better. This is, how can you not base that on feelings? All politics are based on feelings, including her. Look at her. How can you not imagine? How can Thomas yells at me every now and then about how he doesn't like my slogan. He doesn't like my saying that all politics are based on feelings. All of her politics are based on feelings, aren't they? Of course they are. She feels afraid of the immigrants. She feels like they have harmed America. She feels better when executing them. She feels afraid. So she wears a bulletproof vest when she jogs. All her politics are based on feelings. Obviously. And seeing her only makes me more convinced that I am correct, that all politics are based on feelings. So, let's see. That is it for me today. I appreciate everybody who was here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for swinging by. If you have anything else to talk about or want to send links to me, you can do so on the Discord right there. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my weekend playing video games that I got for Christmas. I appreciate everybody who's here. I know it's a kind of a slow day right after Christmas. Everybody's still got their time off and things like that. But thanks for coming, Sules. Thanks for coming, Mammon. I appreciate you, Shinsinto. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chipping in. I appreciate it. I'll turn these into YouTube videos that I'll watch back later over the next couple of weeks. And I will be back. What is today? Today is Saturday. I might be back on Monday. If anything interesting happens on Monday, I will be back Monday night to do another night stream. And I think I should. I think I've got the time for it now. Unless I'm really late at work or something like that. Monday's a back and forth. Wednesday is my normal stream time, but Wednesday is New Year's, isn't it? Where's my calendar? I think Wednesday is a holiday, isn't it? I don't mind streaming on that holiday, but let me check my calendar here. Yeah, Wednesday is New Year's Day. I'll stream on Wednesday for sure. If I'm busy or if nothing's happening, I might skip Monday's stream, but Wednesday for sure, Wednesday stream, and then the next Saturday as well. I will be back on Wednesday for sure, unless the Gestapo kicks in my door and drags me off to the gulag, which is a possibility, I suppose. So if I'm not here on Wednesday, we all push Where's Waldo in social media because he's been absconded with by the browncoats and sent to the gulag. So that is it for me today. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by, and I am on